Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to someone of Scott's selections here for Thursday, September 2nd. Before getting today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We to pick up a loss in tennis with Kohlschreiber and Andujar over 3.5 sets. Pretty odd match where Kohlschreiber was favored, and yet he lost all 3 sets. He was winning the first set, and then everything kind of went awry after that. He couldn't keep the ball in play. Andujar was very good, and unfortunately, we ended up picking up a loss. But we'll look for a bounce-back winner here on Thursday. And for the play that we're looking at college football because I'm sure a lot of you want to talk about it. We're going to be looking at a matchup between South Florida and NC State taking place at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this play of the day, we like the home team here. We like the Wolfpack minus 18.5 and minus 110 on BetMGM. Time recording of 1:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Cover reasons why I like the home team in the spot. First of all, minus 18.5 is a great price. Every other book has a 19 or 19.5. So I don't exactly expect this 18.5 to stay for much longer. I think you'll probably see more money coming in on NC State, probably close at around minus 20 just because of how much of an avalanche you've already gotten in terms of line movement. But there's a couple of reasons why NC State is a big favorite and why money has continued to pour in on the Wolfpack. First reason, NC State's just a much better team from last year. The Wolfpack went 8-4 last season despite playing with a backup quarterback for 9 games. So the team all around is solid. They bring a lot of guys back. We'll get into that in a minute. But the starting quarterback from last year is now healthy, as Leary is back after suffering a broken leg last season. In about 3.5 games last year, he was solid. Ended up having 890 passing yards and 8 passing touchdowns, along with only 2 interceptions. Very good at throwing the deep ball, so I do expect a lot of big plays against this very suspect USF defense, and I think NC State could end up putting up a 40-piece in this game, especially since NC State brings back the same main wide receivers and running backs from last year. So there should be a lot of cohesion, and I do think you'll see NC State hit the ground running in the season opener at home. Meanwhile, the defense to look at NC State was good last season, and it brings back a lot of key pieces, and 9 defensive starters return, especially the most important guy, who was a linebacker, Peyton Wilson, who led the team in tackling last year. The defense for NC State, to go through the numbers, 30 sacks last year and 10 interceptions. Both of those rank within the top 30 nationally. So this team is very opportunistic, is able to pressure the quarterback and force the opposing quarterback into making some mistakes, which is a problem for South Florida because of the fact that, A, they don't exactly have a reliable quarterback, and B, the offensive line, not very good last year. South Florida allowed 3.4 sacks per game, which was tied for the 10th most in the country. Now, they bring back a decent amount of offensive linemen from that unit, but when you're bottom 10 in sacks allowed, I got to wonder just how talented your offensive line actually is, and I think that NC State should dominate in the trenches. Now, to go through the other point, the issue for South Florida and Coach Jeff Scott last year was the lack of a reliable option at quarterback, which is why South Florida rotated between about 3 or 4 guys as the season went on. Now they have Cade Fortin, who was a transfer from North Carolina, played a little bit last year, and that's kind of the problem. His sample size in game situations, he attempted 8 passes last season. He's the starting quarterback. 8 passes. I don't exactly trust this guy, especially since he got injured last season. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to survive this game, since NC State might actually record 4 to 5 sacks here with just how talented the defensive line is and the linebacking core. Secondary is good too, but South Florida, the defense stunk last year. There's a reason why this team went 0 against FBS teams. The only win they had last year was against the Citadel. They lost a couple of games by a large margin, lost to Notre Dame by 50+, lost to East Carolina by 20. I think NC State is talented enough on both sides of the ball to dominate pretty much the entire game. You can go through the position groups offensively and defensively, and NC State is better at practically every single position group. I think this game should get ugly. I think 18.5 is too low. I think NC State should probably cruise to at least a 3-touchdown win. I'll spot South Florida 17 points because I'm feeling generous, but I think NC State should score at least 40, probably pushing 45, and I think that NC State should end up leaving this game with a nice, easy victory. It's the play of the day once again here for Thursday, September 2nd is going to be on NC State minus 18.5 at minus 110 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.